Oh, hour 3. I'm in such a good mood today. What a great day today. Live in L.A., it's The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1. I'm in a great mood because Aqib to leave in 15 minutes. He's on my podcast network. He is so funny. It makes me laugh all the time and so real. And then I got TJ Hushmanzada. I had a friend text me the other day. He said the best guy you bring on for the draft is TJ Hushmanzada.
I trust TJ's assessments of players probably more than anyone in the industry. Because he genuinely roots for guys, obviously.
Well, he works with them. He played.
But he works with them one-on-one, and he is often very, very right about his evaluations. Like, teams should probably hire TJ.
He told me, he said, Colin, Burrow's going to be better than you think.
Yep.
He told us Justin Herbert.
He was right on Chase Claypool.
He said Chase Claypool's going to be a star.
That's why I didn't really love Zach Wilson, but...
Then he said he loved Zach Wilson.
Well, all right, maybe it'll work.
So now I love Zach Wilson. Sometimes you have to admit, so people have good information.
He has great information, yes. He's a good evaluator. He's a good evaluator of talents. Like I think he has a keen eye for seeing what's actually going to transfer to the NFL.
Well, he also has daughters who are athletes.
Yeah.
So TJ is one of those guys he's coached. He doesn't just look at a player. He looks at TJ is one of these guys who'll go, look at the calves, look at the shoulders, look at the. Years ago, I was talking to Lou Holtz. He would never remember this. And Lou talks to everybody. So I was talking to Lou Holtz about, like, recruiting. This was like 15 years ago in the halls at ESPN. And he had said that. He said, you know, I'm looking for butt when they walk away from me. Size, shoulder. When you interview dad, what's dad look like?
Yep, because in a couple years, that's the body.
That's right. And by the way, is your fake weight, is it steroid weight, is it workout room weight, or is dad big? Like
that's what, like, remember LeVar Ball was talking about Lonzo. He was like, wait till he gets his ball body, because everyone was freaking out that he was too skinny. Like, he's 20 years old. Like, give him 3 years, he's going to have a completely different body, and he does.
Yeah.
And all that matters.
I mean, this bronze thing right here didn't happen overnight. It happened years of eating subs. The Herd brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. So keep him 15 minutes. Okay, we know the Cowboys. The Cowboys love to make flashy draft picks. A lot of offensive draft picks. Okay. Story I saw today that Jerry Jones has fallen in love with the spectacular Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. Let's say the Cowboys do move up and get Kyle Pitts. I actually get it from Jerry Jones' perspective. First of all, Dak's numbers and productivity are going to go up, right? Jerry Jones got a lot of heat. He acknowledged it, paying Dak $40 million a year. It would, to some degree, validate Dak's contract. Hey, I paid him $40 million a year. He's a Pro Bowler. And if Dallas doesn't win the Super Bowl because they don't draft defense, well, we're not going to blame Jerry. That's not what we do in America. We'll blame Dak and Mike McCarthy. From Jerry's perspective, I draft Kyle Pitts. It validates Dak's contract. We score more points. We get talked about. More highlights. More merchandise. Well, I get more free press. I mean, Kyle Pitts is going to get, in Dallas's offense, get 75, 80 catches, a half dozen touchdowns. Not going to take him. They have too many good wide receivers. You can't double him. From Jerry's perspective, and I don't get blamed if we don't win the Super Bowl. I mean, look at last year. Cowboy fans fell in love with Dallas drafting CeeDee Lamb. It was the only thing they didn't need in the draft was a wide receiver, and they drafted one. And he's a good player. And at the end of the year, when the Cowboys were average, nobody blamed Jerry. Nobody blamed Jerry, even though that was Jerry's pick. Jerry was smiling, laughing on his yacht. Nobody blamed Jerry. They blamed Mike McCarthy and Andy Dalton and Mike Nolan and global warming and the tax rates. Nobody blamed Jerry Jones. So from Jerry's perspective, I totally get it. It would be doubling down on what the Cowboys already are. Flashy, fun, and interesting. It would not solve their personnel issues. But the reality is, Jerry, we all have a fear of something. Jerry fears being irrelevant. Most of these owners fear being irrelevant. But for Jerry, a marketing guy, a wildcatter, he's always been an aggressive guy, kind of a maverick. He pushes back. He wanted to build the world's biggest stadium. He just doesn't want to be irrelevant. And you draft an edge rusher. You move down in the draft. What Dallas should really do is move down in the draft. That's what they should do. They've got like number 10, get down to about 16, 17, 18, get more picks. There's plenty of good corners, mid to late first round, second round, third round. There's edge rushers all over this draft from pick 14 on, pick 15, pick 16 on. That's what Dallas should do. But Jerry does not like to move back at the top of the first round. He likes to be talked about, and I would not be shocked. Chris Mortensen reported this. I know Chris. You know Chris. Chris knows football. I would not be shocked if Dallas moved up to get Kyle Pitts. And don't kid yourself. It would validate that $40 million for Dak because Dak's numbers would absolutely pop. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. I often do, Green Bay Packers quarterback. Aaron Rodgers wants to be the new host of Jeopardy. He has acknowledged it. He said it yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. He said, yes, I want to be the host. He came out and said, listen, I have 187 work days a year in Green Bay. I only would need 46 days to work for Jeopardy. I would like to do it. And, it'd be easy to say, he's not as committed as Tom Brady or Russell Wilson. But I want you to think about this. If you are frustrated with anything in your life, relationship, wife, husband, work, kids, anything, parents, anything, you have two options. This is all you can do. You can keep denying reality, or you can create a new reality. So Aaron Rodgers, and you all know this, you follow football, we all know it here, is frustrated with Green Bay. They draft Jordan Love instead of getting defensive help. They won't get him a number 2 wide receiver on the free agent market. They couldn't retain Corey Linsley, the Pro Bowl center. They couldn't keep Jared Cook years ago. They got rid of his quarterback coach. Remember, Van Pelt didn't tell him. They couldn't get J.J. Watt. We know he's frustrated. That's not an argument. So he can deny the reality of Green Bay, or he can create a new reality. And I think Aaron Rodgers is creating a new reality. And I think it's mentally very healthy. He's saying, Green Bay, you're mostly committed to me. And now I'm mostly committed to you. Green Bay saying, we love you, Aaron, but we see the future. And Aaron saying, I love you, Green Bay, but I see the future too. I think it's very healthy. Look at it from Aaron Rodgers' perspective. Tom Brady has an all-star team around him. Drew Brees, last 3 years, had an all-star team around him. Patrick Mahomes has an all-star team around him. How the hell can they afford Joe Thuney? Jared Goff had an all-star team around him. Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo. And Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm the MVP. I'm 37. And they can't retain the best center in football? What? He was a 5th-round pick. You didn't pay him anything for 4 years. So you can just put your head down, deny the reality of what Green Bay does with Aaron Rodgers, or you can create a new reality. And I think it's very healthy, and I think you can keep doing it over and over. Like if you married somebody, if you married some guy and he still goes on Vegas weekends with his boys and he still goes on golf weekends and disappears and leaves you with the kids, you can deny that's who he is, or you can go have some fun too with the girls in Vegas, or you're going to resent him. There's only two options when dealing with frustration. Deny it, it's not happening, or create a new reality. And Aaron's saying, yeah, Green Bay's mostly committed to me. Mostly. But not like Tampa is to Tom, or the Saints are to Breeze, or Kansas City is Mahomes.